So some cars in the auction I've seen this week. Well, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. About 60% on a daily basis have a battery health certificate, which means at least 40, and this is just in the auction. Okay, this is just in one auction, BCA. Don't think I'm knocking them, because I'm not. It's a good thing. Every single car that's in the auction should have a battery state of health certificate. Every single car that goes for an MOT should have a battery state of health certificate. Every single car that's advertised on Auto Trader really should have one. From dealers, every dealer car should have one. It's all about building trust. Nobody will, EVs will not catch on until people trust the batteries. Now, there's some very bad batteries out there, trust me. And the state of health, this is you trusting the vehicle you're going to buy, okay? It's not trusting all EVs, it's trusting, just like when you'd go to view a petrol car or a diesel car, you'd be starting it up and, sometimes me and John give people the keys and the next minute and they're absolutely revving the nuts off a car. They don't really know what they're doing. But you've also got the emissions test on an MOT. So, that gets tested every year. In my view, the battery state of health is like an emissions test for electric cars and needs to be done on the MOT. This needs to be standard. With every transaction, you need to see the battery state of health certificate so so you can trust your EV. Not every EV, your EV, the one you're buying, the one that you're putting your money in, the one that you're going to park next to your house and probably charge while your family's asleep next to it, sitting 10 feet away from it. You're gonna put something, you may as well just put a time bomb up your drive. I got some guys saying, oh, that never happened. We have the tumble dryer on, we have the washing machine at night. I honestly, to save a couple of pennies, I would never ever do that. Never, ever, while I was asleep, have something working like that. If you don't value the life of your family, or basically the life of your family comes down to saving a few pence on electricity, then you're a f***ing skinflint. Honestly, you're a skinflint. So, back to BCA. So this week I've been looking through BCA. Bearing in mind, there's 1,000, there'll be about 700 or 800 EVs in BCA at the moment. And say 400 of them have got battery health certificates. Now think about Auto Trader. Think about the category Ds and the category S cars that are also for sale on Auto Trader. Because actually, let me just check this. Now, this will surprise you when I show you the battery health certificates and also the non-running EVs. But let's just go to Auto Trader. If we go to Auto Trader, we'll go to electric cars, and then we'll search 31,927 electric cars. But what we'll do, we'll go down here and we'll go down to previously written off, show only, previously written off, 406 cars previously written off. Now, again, this might surprise you. So how one vehicle can be more relevant than another in a search for write-offs, I'll just never know. But here we go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go from relevant search and I'm going to put, should we go price high to low? There we go. And even then, Auto Trader never failed to cock your search up, because I've put high to low. So I want to see the highest prices. The first one I get, Audi e-tron here, Cat N, 22,292. But That's not the highest, is it? Because there's one here. Next to it, 56,495. To be honest, it surprises me that that's the highest one, because I know there's been a couple of Porsches on. There was actually a Porsche with delivery miles on at a Porsche dealership that was a write-off, and I emailed Porsche, and Porsche have never got back to me. I emailed them to ask them if it was a mistake and should a write-off actually be for sale at a Porsche dealership. Never got back to me. I emailed them a couple of times and messaged them on Twitter. No, never got back to me. So there you go. You've got 56,495. Now, another thing that will surprise you as well, because if the integrity of the battery is compromised, it could set fire at any time. If that gets salt water in, it'll be up, it'll go. A battery can set on fire up to 12 months after the incident that caused the damage. So if you run over anything, you've got to get your vehicle inspected, make sure that it's okay. Now, if we just go down here to seller type, look at that. There's over twice as many sellers, nearly 3 times as many private sellers as trade sellers. Do you know why that is? Because the trade won't touch, or shouldn't touch, write-off EVs. They're far too dangerous to even have on your premises. If you don't know the state of that battery, the integrity of that battery, it's too dangerous. And also, I would suggest that if you get one of those to fix, then you deserve all you get. But your staff don't. And the people in adjoining buildings don't either. So why do you think there's 3 times as many private sellers of EVs? Because they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. They're not going to keep it. They're selling it. And if you look through these, I'm pretty sure you'll find, and if you go on VCheck or MotorCheck and you look at these registration numbers, it shows you the ones that have been bought at salvage auctions, and it shows you the damage. Even worse than that, these are actually on the register. There's some that haven't been put on the register and been sold at salvage. So that's even worse. These are just the ones we know, you see? So that's another reason why a battery state of health certificate is so important, because you could be buying something with a damaged battery that's been repaired and not on the register. It's so important to check. I can't stress enough how important it is to test the batteries. I can't stress it enough. Back to, here we go, the cars in the auction. So the first one here, Kia EV6, 33,036 miles. Battery health there, you'll see an X. Cat clean, 18,850. Lex are putting it in, it's in Blackbush. The next thing we'll have a look at, 20th of the 7th, 2022. It's basically the 20th of the 7th, 2025 today. So that's 3 years old. Nothing in declarations, notes, service history. One service, 29th of the 7th, 2024 at 24,172. So it's missed its yearly service, hasn't it? Battery state of health, below 50. Here's a certificate. Warning, significant issues detected. During the detailed battery diagnosis with Avilou flash test, anomalies were detected that require monitoring or inspection. For details, scan the QR code. There you go, that shows you the battery. Now that all looks good to me, but then it says, I mean, they all look the same. No deviation, no different colours. A deviation in the battery current measurement was detected, indicating a defective current sensor. But then, if it's got defective current sensors, how's it coming up with that reading? Please retry the flash test, ensuring that the vehicle is not charged or driven, and the air conditioning and heating are switched off during the test. If the problem persists, please contact Avilou customer management or arrange for your vehicle to be checked at a workshop. I've tweeted them a few times, half a dozen times, with these attachments, with these warnings, asking them if this warning comes up on their machine, what I should do. They've not got back to me. You can read into that what you want. Next one, Tesla. Tesla Model 3 Standard Plus Saloon, 46,476 miles, 2021-21 plate. And you'll see there, Battery X. That's the car, featured in Athlon UK BCA. One owner from new. Cap clean, 12,950. How much would you give for that with a Duff battery? Why would you want it with a Duff battery? Good question. So again, we go in here. 22nd of the 6th, 2021. That's when it was first registered. Declarations, nothing. But as I say, the battery below 50. Warning, significant issues detected. You look at the battery, the cells seem to be all over the place. All different colours. It has been determined that there is a significant discrepancy between the highest and lowest charge cells as illustrated in the cell voltage table above. This can be attributed to a prolonged period where the battery was not charged to 100%, or alternatively, an issue with battery balancing. In order to troubleshoot, please ensure the vehicle is fully charged and allow it to sit undisturbed for several hours. Then please run the flash test again to assess if the deviation has reduced. If the deviation has reduced, please repeat the process. If the deviation persists, please take your vehicle to a workshop or contact Avilu customer. And again, I've told you, I've contacted them about this, you know, on Twitter, and they've not come back to me. I've asked them if it's dangerous and you know, what's the worst case scenario and what's the best case. It looks like the best case scenario is that you charge it again, but like you can only fully charge it once, can't you? And what was it saying there? Please run the flash test again. If the deviation has reduced, please repeat the process. Well, how do you fully charge it again without using it? So I'm assuming that you've got to use it and then fully charge it again. So, you know, again, conflicting messages all the time. Baz, how many are they? If, like me, you're thinking, these are the ones that have been tested, on average, in a week so far, 6 to 8 at least, and I've not been doing it every day, so I've probably missed some. Those are just the ones that have been tested. What about the ones that haven't? What about, say, some garages that used to do battery tests and they've stopped? What about like an EV mouthpiece that used to put battery certificates on the cars in the adverts, and now they've stopped? Why would they do that, do you think? Why would you do that when it's the biggest objection for dealers before they buy an EV? Over 50% of dealers won't buy an electric vehicle that hasn't got a battery state of health. Now, how many dealers are selling vehicles without a battery state of health? That's a different thing, isn't it? I'd say, like, I don't know, from what I've seen, about 95% of dealers who are selling EVs are selling them without battery state of health certificates. So here we go, Renault Zoe, 40 kilowatt, 13,320 miles, 2019, 69 plate. Battery state of health, X. 5 grand, that's 5 grand. It's only done 13,000 miles. For sale in the auction. Let's just have a look at it. Declarations, none. Number of owners, it doesn't say, but DVSA mileage, 5,623, 3rd of the 4th, 2024, 20th of the 3rd, 2025. I wouldn't be surprised if that's not when it's changed hands and it was probably a 4-owner vehicle, even at that mileage. Last service, 9th of the 6th, 2021, 1,127 miles. Battery state of health below 50. There's a possibility it's a mistake because there's no actual certificate attached to that vehicle. But you're not going to buy it, are you? You're not going to buy it because a new battery will cost more than the car's worth. So effectively, as that car is being presented at the moment, it is a write-off. Okay, anybody argue with that? It's a write-off. Nobody in the right mind would buy it or give anything. In fact, I'd be mad if somebody give it me. If it has got a bad fault on the battery, and I bring it home, stick it in my garage, it could burn my house down. It could burn the auction down while it's there. It could burn the garage of the dealer that buys it. It's fear of the unknown. That is unknown. But actually, it's not unknown. It's got an X on it. So that is fear of the known. You know it's got an X on it. You're stupid. If you buy that, you're stupid. Let's just go to this. 20,631 miles. 2022, one owner. X. Lex, Blackbush, another one at Blackbush. Last service, 6th of 4th, 2024. At 11,031 miles. Date of registration, 23rd of the 6th, 2022, one owner. PCA EV battery health grading, below 50. During the detailed battery diagnosis with Avilou flash test, anomalies were detected that require monitoring or inspection. For details, scan the QR code. A deviation in the battery current measurement was detected, indicating a defective current sensor. Please retry the flash test, ensuring that the vehicle is not charged or driven, and the air conditioning and heating are switched off during the test. If the problem persists, please contact Avilou Customer Management or arrange for your vehicle to be checked at a workshop. Here's the state of health certificate, 93.7%. Warning, significant issues detected. I've already read that to you. So, yet another one. Is there any sign of it ending, Baz? Well, to be honest, there's not. And as I say, there are, on Auto Trader, electric cars, search, filter, year, up to 2025. There are 26,515 results. How many of those being sold without a battery certificate have got something there waiting to bite you or your family? Do not buy a car without a battery health certificate. One of my friends was looking at a car at a supermarket, a car supermarket, and it was it's an MG. And he rang them up and he said, do you mind if I bring somebody to check the battery? And he said, oh, well, we allow, you know, like the REC and the AA to do battery tests, but nobody else. Guess what? He's not bought the car. Now, if you think I'm kidding about this, I'm not. This is the non-runner section. You'll see here Jaguar I-Pace. In fact, you'll see there's 3 Jaguar I-Paces. This one is 2018, done 46,947 miles. And we go into it, non-runner, Black Horse, Bedford. Go to the bottom here, non-runner, drive battery fault, vehicle is shut down, maybe other issues, sold with all faults, no guarantee, only faults. Last service mileage, 28,484. It's showing 1 service. So even though that vehicle should probably still be within the battery warranty, I doubt whether they'd get it, hence it's in an auction. 49,691. Starting to see a bit of a pattern here. Again, 1 owner, 2020. Marshall Cinch non-runner. Marshall Cinch BCA, they're all part of the same group, yeah? Non-runner, does not hold charge. No guarantee, only faults. Last service, 2nd of the 5th, 2024 at 46,367 miles. So just 330 miles ago. To me, that would suggest that he had a fault on the vehicle, he knew there was a fault on the vehicle, and he hoped a service would confirm it because he's not had one before. Cars 2020, 1 service in 46,000 miles. So again, I doubt very much whether that would be covered under the battery warranty. These EV owners that think EVs don't need servicing, wow, does it cost them some money not to service. Next one here, Jaguar I-Pace, it's showing 1 mile, obviously they can't switch it on. 2019, 1 owner red. Let's just go into it, see if we can track down the mileage a bit better. Vehicle MOT expired on the 17th of April 2023 at 18,521 miles. It expired 17th of April 2023, 2 years ago. Where has it been since then? And that's in an auction. Who in their right mind is going to buy that? Last service, 18th of the 5th 2022 at 18,888. It looks to me like these people only go for a service when they think there's something wrong with the car. But I'll leave the best one to the last. This is just what you want. Volkswagen ID3. It's done 25,387 miles. It's got £620 worth of extras. Cap clean is 12,450. If you want to buy it, it's in the auction tomorrow. It's the online one. Date of registration 23/11/2020. Last service, no service history. No declarations made. Additional information. Non-runner. Overheating when battery connected. 12-volt battery disconnected. Potential fire risk. No guarantee, only faults. Do not buy an electric vehicle without a battery state of health certificate. You are risking your life and your family's lives and anybody near wherever you park. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.